because it comes off very liberal.
But there's UFOs in it?
No, there's no UFOs, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But from what I understand from people that have seen it, they say it comes off more conservative. So I wanted to go see for myself.
Is this a bit? I mean, not that I'm up on what's in the movie theater lately, but is this a big movie? I haven't heard anything about anything.
It's actually been number one the last 2 weekends, but the first weekend was $25 million. This weekend
Fran,
was
you heard about this?
$11
You're probably into these movie deals more than I am. You heard about this movie?
Yeah, it's been advertised all over social media and YouTube and stuff like that.
What do you think?
I saw the preview. It looks interesting.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
I didn't get any sense of either political leaning based on the trailers.
Well, I did. If you saw the trailer, I did, Fran. I don't know if you caught the part where I forget the actor's name. They've got guns on a few people. I think a few of the reporters, and he goes, "Well, what kind of Americans are you?"
Yeah, but I feel like that leads into what you believe, not necessarily what they're telling you.
Right. But that's why I'm saying, is it more? Does it come off more liberal? Does it come off more conservative? I don't know. So I want to go check it out.
Wonder if anyone in the audience has seen it. Maybe they could let us know.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a little roll call here, where you're watching from, what you're watching on, the two most important questions.
Yep.
And then let us know if you've seen what's going to happen probably tonight at Studio 6B, which is Civil War. So if you've seen the movie,
Right.
let us know before it happens here in the studio tonight.
Yeah.
Between Slick and the TV or...
The only thing we have in common with the Civil War is all three of our hairlines are receding faster than General Lee in the South back in the Civil War.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
All right, Big D.
Yeah, Damon's got like a Brillo up there.
Yeah. I'm talking about the front hairline. You know, we're all losing it a little bit.
We just don't spend
old age.
Well, listen, we're not
$450
spending nickels every 2 weeks to fix it like you are.
Exactly.
But
I have to.
speak for yourself.
I know.
Exactly.
I'm going to go for extensions soon. I just asked my accountant.
Can you write that off because of the show? Probably, right?
Probably could.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the best part of the show.
The write-off.
That's extended my career here.
Glows, yeah.
Yeah, you got
exactly right. Very good.
How was your weekend? Since you're
Yeah, how was your weekend? We missed you on Friday.
Friday was tough.
Yeah.
Friday was tough. I tell you, I was drained Friday.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I've known Howie. I knew Howie Feiner for most of my life.
Yeah.
Stu Feiner, I'm talking about, over made famous now from Barstool Sports.
He's famous, no doubt.
I mean, bigger now than he's ever been. Oh, he's absolutely out of his mind still. And it's just
That's why you loved him.
I'm just out of his mind on like a level that's just unmatched out of his mind. And was, by the way, I walked into the service, which there was like a little gathering area first, and then we spent probably a couple hours, an hour and a half, just kind of gathering in this room and saying hello. And Stu comes up to me and hugs me and starts, just like as if it was so we were going out for dinner.
Right.
And so I think he gave a speech at the service, which was off the rails. I mean, he was just off the rails, in only a way he can be.
Talking about his dad.
I can't repeat what he was even talking about.
Oh, God.
Here's what the rabbi said afterwards. The rabbi got up after and says, well, he said, well, I've been a rabbi here for 31 years. And when he leads with that, you just know he's thinking, and God almighty, I've just never experienced what I just experienced, and that's exactly right.
Man.
But I don't know. It was.
He said, "Jesus Christ, what just happened?"
Well, it was man. But
was it moving? I know you said it was off the rails.
It was everything.
But usually, when they're off the rails like that, they're eliciting laughs. But people are also kind of. It's it's okay to laugh. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was okay to laugh. You had no choice but to laugh,
Right.
as Stu went into. Well, I mean, just
great detail
on with just everything, and then the gravesite, and then back to the house to sit Shiva, and they did that for 3 days. But I mean, you know how these things go when someone you've spent so much time with. I met Stu in 2001. And met Howie, same. And it's been 20 whatever years. It's been a long time. Been through a lot with Stu. He was in my wedding party. That's how close we were.
Wow.
2005. It's part of my wedding party. It's in all my wedding pictures, and we've, for the most part, stayed pretty close.
Did you have any hangover moments or pictures that you want to share? Or
Well, no, nothing. I want no nothing.
No.
On it. We went to 2 Super Bowls together.
Oh, wow.
Jacksonville and Houston. Me and Stu. Just me and him. Just me and him. I mean, so we've been through a lot, and we remain close. I love him, like the big brother I never had, the craziest big brother you could ever have. He's nuts, but he's the sweetest soul ever. I mean, he's just the most harmless, sweetest soul ever. Although he's out of his mind, which I like. So it was a long day Friday, but we sent Howie off, the Godfather off, with lots of great words, lots of great memories, and a lot of love in that room. A lot of love in that room. So, other than that, the weekend was decent. Got up today, watched a little bit of what was going on early morning in New York City. I saw Dana Bash on CNN
Okay.
talking to, I forget who it was, who the guest was. They were talking about the Trump trial. Oh, it was Kristi Noem talking about the Trump trial, and Dana Bash says, well, there's no, just want to interrupt you here. There's no evidence that this is, the Biden administration has anything to do with this trial. And Kristi Noem didn't think of it at the time. Maybe she didn't know, but the guy who gave the opening statement today is Colangelo.
Yeah.
Who was the number 3 under Merrick Garland. So I don't know if Dana Bash has another example of the number 3 at the Department of Justice under the Attorney General leaving that post to go work for Alvin Bragg. No, I don't think so. There's no other explanation other than that's exactly what it is. It's just out in your face, obvious. There's no evidence. No, there's the most evidence. There's the most clear-cut, in-your-face evidence. They sent the number 3 guy to Bragg's office to make sure they didn't screw this up.
Right. Not only that.
What are you talking about?
They only resurrected this thing after he got to that office.
Yeah, because Bragg said no the first time around.
Because Bragg said no, the Feds said
Cy
no.
Vance said no.
What do you call it? The election people said, everybody said no. And then all of a sudden, this guy parachutes in, and clear. I think we got something. Let's put this Frankenstein monster together and see if we can get it
Come on,
to court.
copy and paste 34 times here.
Right.
Let's make up some novel theory. Copy, paste, paste, paste. 34 counts. I don't see any evidence that the Biden administration. Oh, really? You don't see any evidence? Is there another example of the number 3 at the DOJ leaving to go work at Alvin Bragg's office?
That's like, what's a really nice restaurant? Give me a name.
The IHOP.
Peter Luger's.
Peter Luger's. That's like going from Peter Luger's to say, you know what, I'm going to go flip burgers at McDonald's because,
Yeah.
I feel like that fits me better. No, that's not the way this works.
No, you're going there for a reason.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any evidence. Oh, really? All right, live from Studio 6B, we'll talk a little bit more about that.
How would you like your Big Mac, sir?
Andy McCarthy's piece today, hush money's not a crime, and Bragg has no case against Trump. Not that that's going to matter to this judge and maybe this jury, but we'll hold out hope. We'll get into all of that live from Studio 6B when we get back right after this. Hey, Fran, you want to call Ben Bergquam Skype and see if he answers?
Oh, okay. I'm not set up for that. Hold on.
I know, I'm just throwing. I just thought maybe we could just hit send and see if he answers. He said, he said I could do Skype or live view. Well, Skype's easier, so let's just. I see we're on X, 177. We need to get those numbers way up. So let's make sure we hit the
Come on.
We
heart.
did start a little late due to technical difficulties.
Oh, we did?
Oh, yeah.
What was our difficulties?
Are we live now?
Yeah, we're live.
It
Hi,
wasn't
folks.
working for a good while.
Oh,
Hello,
really?
folks. How are you?
Okay. Well, we're on now, so whatever.
Well, technology, man.
Technology is
Streaming issues are always an issue.
sometimes an issue.
This place has a lot of issues.
You're talking about this place or streaming?
This place.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. This is
Come on.
Bermuda Triangle of technology. in
Oh,
this place.
slick. Come on.
It's where the technology from the Bermuda Triangle ends up.
Let's put the Sixers on full screen so we can get
No,
Oh,
no.
yeah, so we
leave
can
it-
melt
leave
down.
the game
Please,
on.
melt down.
Let's full.
Sick, they're up by 7.
Let's
Big
get
deal.
let's get a full.
They're up
they're
by
up 10. Slick, they're up 10.
Look out. Must have just drained the 3-pointer. Make it 32. Nice. I'm out. You know what, though? This game of runs. Sixers were up by like 12 on Saturday.
13.
And then,
Up 13 to down 13 to back to 2.
Oh,
It
there's
was
3 right there for the next.
Oh,
this guy
there we
Hart's
go.
got to get smashed. I don't like him.
Yeah.
He's wise,
He's too good.
Of course, you don't like him because he
I don't
makes
like
shots.
him.
He's a clutch
schmuck.
player.
Yeah, I got news for you. I think he's a streaky dude. I don't really know him. Look at Tobias Harris.
Well,
Streaky. It's the NBA.
Tobias,
What are you
the
talking
worst
about?
max contract player. Look at that air ball. Oh boy.
Oh,
And
there's your guy,
Tobias
Hart.
I love this during the break that people can actually
There's your guy Hart.
the worst max contract player in the history of the NBA. That would be Deer Park's very own Tobias Harris, right from
Hey,
Little
my-
Long Island.
hey, just
They're
relax.
coming
Oh,
next
there
now,
goes
they're
Hart
draining.
again.
He is. That's not Hart. That's the other.
All of a
midget.
sudden,
That's the midget
that's
on the team.
That's precious.
That's Spud Webb.
no, what's his name? Oh, he was
Precious.
good the other day.
Achakua, or whatever his name is.
No,
Yeah,
it's-
Coochie Coo is his name. Yeah.
Oh, you mean McBride?
Yeah, deuce. Let the deuces loose, baby. You need the deuce. Deuce is hitting more triples than deuces.
It's a game of
Yeah.
runs. It's a game of runs.
I love this during the breaks tonight because the audience
Yeah.
who's on YouTube, X, Facebook gets the real slick during
Yeah,
the breaks.
right.
So
You
when
get
I'm
very
watching
angry.
the camera,
Ben
Very
set
angry.
up.
so I'm watching the
Very
game too,
angry.
but I'm engaged. I'm ready to do some sports.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, April 22nd, 17 past the hour. Glad you're in. We'll do some sports with Slick here in a second. We've got news coming up with Delgado, but do we have the great Ben Bergquam is in New York City now? He's
Oh, yeah?
okay. He's not ready yet. We're going to go to Ben here in a second. Ben's going to be,
Oh, fabulous.
I believe. Don't quote me. I believe Ben will be in studio. What? I said in studio.
We never have studio guests.
No,
I know, because we wouldn't allow anybody in. I locked the door and wouldn't allow him in.
that's a true story.
But Ben Bergquam is not on that list. Ben Bergquam is on the you can do whatever the hell you want anytime list. So Ben, I think we'll be in studio tomorrow night. Oh my God, come on. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
Now, does he know this?
There he is. Are you going to be in studio tomorrow night?
I gotta figure it out. So here's the deal. I need the audience
Whoa.
participation in this. I need your guys' participation because the action is hot down here, man. And so I've got to figure out. So started this morning at the courthouse with the sham of a trial against President Trump, the continuation of the coup against President Trump, the first 4 years with the Russiagate and all of the impeachment garbage and all of that. This is that continuation. This afternoon, I was at Columbia with the Hamas supporting terrorists and all of the faculty that was out there in support of them. And then I hear the NYU's kicking off now. So you got NYU joining in the Hamas support and going against Israel and all this just insanity going on. And then you got the illegal aliens. I haven't even had time to go show the invasion of the illegal aliens in our country. And by the way, I'm standing out here. You guys know this spot very well. This is the memorial fountain for remembrance for 9/11. As we are allowing in, I forgot I still have my Trump hat on. I had I switched that out at Columbia because I figured they would just love it. So all these sissy liberals. Anyways, as we're allowing in these millions of illegals, we're standing here. I'm standing here at the place where just over 20 years ago we were attacked by jihadists. We're inviting jihadists in, and then we're sending them to our college campuses, and we're teaching our kids. They actually had a call to prayer, an Islamic call to prayer in the middle of this crap at Columbia today. It is insane what's happening here. So as long as I can get all the footage down, I got to catch a train and get up to you guys, or ride up with Jersey Joe to get up to you guys. So, but I would love to join you tomorrow. You got to figure it out. So see what the audience does.
Well, I'm not. I mean, all of that sounded good. I just don't even know what to say to that because I don't. Did I get an answer to whether you're going to be on tonight? Delgado, did that sound like an answer?
It sounds like a yes, no, maybe.
I heard.
Yes, no, maybe, Big D.
Yeah, that sounded like yes, no, maybe through all of that.
I heard a lot of plugs. He was
Come
like,
on, Ben.
I will be on tomorrow, no matter what. The question is, do you want me on from here at like NYU with all the craziness going on, or do you want me in studio?
Oh, they'll see
That's the
that.
question.
Now that's a fair question because that could
That is a
be
good question.
That could be good too. I mean, there's nothing
Could be
like having
crazy.
in
Talk
studio, but all right.
about
Well,
Crazy
we'll have
Town.
to okay, fine. You're forgiven, and we'll ride with that.
we still don't
because-
have an answer.
We'll have to play it by
It
Zier.
doesn't matter. I thought
Play it by Zier.
Ben's on the you could Zier.
And then Zier wants me to come to the warehouse, and I've never been to the warehouse. So I'm like, all right.
Oh,
okay.
you got to see the warehouse.
Well, see that
Yeah,
might
yeah,
be
yeah.
that might push it over the
And
edge.
it's Zier's birthday today. That's a tough one.
It is Zier's birthday
Why is
today.
my
I was
birthday?
going to get to
Did you
that.
guys wish him? Did you guys sing him happy birthday?
No,
yet?
not at all.
We were gonna with Damon's
Oh,
gonna.
you're not even.
Why
not
would
even
we?
friends.
No,
Not even friends.
we actually hate him.
Well, no, he hates Delgado though. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
he really
Who doesn't? I mean, come on.
Join
He's
the
the most
club.
hated man in TV.
Oh man, well.
Yeah, just because I don't like Dolly Parton or the Queen. Whoa,
Yeah,
big
right.
deal.
Well, that's
Not
what you
there.
got started.
You called him fake news a couple
Well,
times, which was
Well, that was his fault, not mine.
Not just inappropriate. So,
Yeah,
was his
I know.
fault.
Exactly.
all right, Ben, let's get serious here. So, I was talking in the first segment about how Dana Bash says, well, I don't see any evidence that the Biden administration is behind this, what's going on in New York. Meanwhile, Colangelo's the number 3
What an
guy
idiot.
under
Yeah.
Merrick Garland.
Yeah.
They send him
Oh.
down there. Like, what other proof do you need?
You know what? If you're too stupid to see that this is a political persecution and not a criminal prosecution, I can't help you. I think there's a combination of people that are just so ignorant that they'll never see it. But then you have the other side of it that are just so evil, they'll never admit it. But that's what's happening. It is a political persecution trying to keep, it's two things. They're trying to keep President Trump tied up so he can't campaign, which I think that part is kind of backfiring because all you're doing is keeping him in the spotlight in the media on every channel every single day. It's the best free media you can get, and you're building support for him. The other side to this is beyond that. If and when, and I pray he does, President Trump wins the next election, this is about getting the henchmen, your BLM, your Antifa, now your Hamas, and your 15 million illegals that are going to have to be rounded up and deported out in the streets and continuing the civil war. It's basically about delegitimizing President Trump and continuing the coup from the first 4 years. I think it's even probably more about that than it is about actually getting a conviction on it.
You know, you're the good person to ask this. I don't know if you saw with Tucker, Jesse Kelly was on with Tucker recently on one of his episodes. Jesse Kelly said, Tucker, what is being done to the country right now through the border, even if Donald Trump wins, people should stop thinking that we're going to deport. It is not happening.
No, it's not going to happen.
Okay,
Not
so
gonna
you're in
happen.
agreement with him.
Yeah, well, it's not. You're not going to deport 15 million people. I think basically in all of these decisions, every decision should come from. We should ask the question from the reference point of what's best for America. So, is it best for America that we spend the resources? We're already $34 trillion in debt, and by then we'll be over $35 trillion in debt. Is it better for America that we spend $1 trillion more to go get 15 million illegals and deport them all at once? I think the answer is probably no. But the answer is you have to shut it off immediately, reenact the Remain in Mexico policy, and then immediately go and you prioritize. You say, who are the worst offenders? Have you committed another crime since you got here? Boom, you're out the next day. And then you go down the line. And eventually, maybe you do get rid of them all, but you prioritize and say, get rid of the worst ones, and then you go after the next ones, the next ones, the next ones. But the first thing you have to do, like if you cut your leg off, well, you know, you're not worried about fixing the break in your leg. You're stopping the bleeding. You got to stop the bleeding. That's number one. And then we do what's best for America. Every single question should be answered from the standpoint of what's best for America and the citizens of America. And if we did that, I still think we could save this country. But we're screwed for a long time based on what Joe Biden and the Democrats and the rhinos have done.
Yeah. Hey, Ben, real quick, because you're talking about the possible deportation here, and you hear about these countries are like, oh, we're not going to allow you to send them back to us. What's your thought? What's your thought on? And I thought of this as a cost saving measure as well. Parachutes. If we're not allowed to land, what?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it's perfect. Just push them out.
Yeah, there you go. You're over Venezuela.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Good luck. Good luck. No, but to answer that question, they tried to do that when President Trump was in office. They tried to say no, and Mexico even tried to say no.
Right.
And what happened? President Trump threatened to stop, not just to do the tariffs, but stop sending the aid. Guatemala was like, nope, we're not taking all these MS-13 and these gang members, and he says, well, we're not going to send you the aid anymore. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll be happy to take them. We have the leverage, guys.
Right.
We have the leverage. We just say, not only are we going to, if we're already sending you aid, we're not going to send you another dime of aid until you take back every single illegal that came into our country. We're going to start sanctioning you, just like he did to threaten to Mexico. I wish he would have done it more. Just like he did to China. By the way, that's when immediately after that's when COVID came out and China killed 1 billion people, hundreds of millions of people across the world, and ended up helping steal the election. Side note. But that's what needs to happen. We have to come from a position of strength and say, screw you guys. Yes, you are taking them.
Right.
Or you throw them out with parachutes. I'm cool with that too.
All right.
Cool.
Well, we love you either way, but let us know what you decide tomorrow. We hope to see you in person and see you at the warehouse. But if not, we will see you live here like this. And whatever you do, please stay safe tomorrow.
I will. By the way, I've been rocking this Trump hat all over New York. I was in
good,
Columbia, taking the subway.
Go.
They love it. They love it. Rock your Trump hat in New York. That's all I'm saying.
All right, the great Ben Bergquam. We'll hear from him tomorrow night, one way or another, live from Studio 6B. We're back. Sports and news coming up.
All right, so Ben's going to be here tomorrow. We're
Nice.
live in the social media chat world now. Let's see what's going on Facebook real quick. Let's see. How come I don't have any? Where's our stuff?
The feedback on the movie was mixed. On
Oh, yeah?
Civil War. Yeah.
Okay.
Some folks said it was really good. Some folks said it was a waste of time and money. I think it was Broke Spoke or Farmer Brook. One of those wise guys there said that the North did win. So they kind of blew the ending.
Now
It killed a good ending. The North won. Did they really? I don't know.
right. Now
Don't take it for granted.
would whoever and you said it was Broke Spoke probably said that.
Probably either Broke or Farmer. One of the two.
Was it a cool movie? Was it like, because I don't know. I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Is it going to be worth my time and my money?
Well, you have to go. Everybody's got to see things for themselves too. And people walk out of movies just like a record. It's different interpretations. You take away different things. It's hard to say. In general, it looks like it's probably worth going to see. If I had to guess.
Yeah, I think there's only like one quote unquote big name in it.
Yeah.
And that's
I'll wait till it's on Netflix and I'll watch it then probably.
and that's what's her face. I don't even remember her name. Her name she's so known, I forgot her name. But she was in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I know the girl you're talking
Not
about.
Zendaya.
Wasn't there some controversy with her or something at one time? Or
With
no?
who?
The girl that
Zendaya?
Yeah,
I don't know.
but there was something. Okay.
I have no idea.
Apparently, neither
1
do I.
minute. Damon's pizza rolls just got finished, so I had to cut it. Broke Spoke said it wasn't him. So
Okay.
he didn't go see the movie. So
It was somebody said it. Farmer Brook, one of them.
all good. I'll go check it out this week.
Whoever said it,
I do have what even is that?
probably not watching the chat. You have a what even is that tonight?
What even is that tonight?
Because we couldn't do it
awesome.
Friday because Damon was he was
He was busy. He was paying his
busy.
respects, and it was an important day.
respect.
I had a feeling you weren't going to make it.
Yeah, it was a long day. We figured.
Yeah.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. I want to thank Ben Bergquam for jumping on with us, live from New York City, and all the craziness that's going on there. We'll see if we can, we will hook up with him at some point tomorrow night somehow. We'll see if he's in the studio or not. I think he should come out and see the America's First Warehouse.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, he'll love it.
You know, you can only deal with the craziness in New York most of the day. You got to get out of there and come out here and relax a little bit and have some fun. So
And he hasn't met Joe the Box yet, Ben? I guess.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Cleanse the palate a bit. You know what we should do too? Because he's going to be coming, we should make it a special pizza Tuesday.
yeah, order pizza, right? Again,
with some nice.
because we did that last time.
But not Harry pizza. We go with
no,
pizza with bacon.
right? Not the.
Oh, yeah. You weren't happy the last time with the Harry Pizza place.
Nah, because he probably
You don't
got
want to say it on
got
air.
like
Don't make
Walmart or nothing.
We don't want to hurt that business. So
Yeah,
It was Harry's leftovers from the night before.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B if you shop at MyPillow this month. Getting close to the today's the 22nd. I mean, next week.
Yeah.
Drawing 10 $100 gift cards, or whether it's 250s or 100. I don't know.
Are we going to do it live on air? We're going to do it live on air, the drawing?
I mean, we can. We just got to get a random number generator, and we're gonna number all of the people who used the receipt.
Oh.
1 through however many we get, and then we'll use a random number generator, and we'll just pick 10 numbers, and
We
those
announce the
numbers
winners.
will announce the winners. Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
that'd be cool. We could do that. Maybe we'll do 2 a night or 3 a night. What do you think?
I think it's
I like
2 a
great
night
idea.
for 5 nights? 10
Yeah,
a
that'd be
night?
good. Yeah. That definitely.
Okay.
Do it
I
like
like
towards,
that. Starting
towards-
Monday.
Yeah, middle of the show, somewhere around there.
So you have this week to use the code to enter into
Come
that to
on.
get a gift card for MyPillow. LFS6B is the code. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Big D, let's get to the about what's going on. I mean, sports has more going on than Italy has Parmesan. It's unbelievable. We got hockey playoffs. We got basketball playoffs. Baseball season in full swing. Golf, NASCAR. Let me get to it.
Did you see Boone's ejection?
Oh, my gosh.
For saying
Boone the
nothing?
loon.
Has that ever happened before where a fan, the ref, the ump thought it was the manager when it was the guy in the robe? It was the fan.
You got to get his hearing checked.
What is this guy? Really?
Yeah, I don't know. These refs and rumps, they're a little too overzealous sometimes with the
I
whistle.
don't think I've ever seen that happen.
Yeah, too much. Crazy. Well, here we go, Big D. NHL action playoffs. Here we go. Another team. You got 2 gardens that are hopping. You got Madison Square Garden with the Knicks and Rangers playing well, but you also got the TD Garden up in Boston, Big D. The Boston Bruins right now leading the Maple Leafs 2-1. They are also looking good. They have a 1-game lead. There's 6 minutes to go in the second period, and they're taking care of business over Toronto, 2-1 there. Islanders right now down in Carolina, up 2-0. It's early, but that's at the end of 1. Islanders need this win to split the series. Hurricanes took game 1 on Saturday night. And then we have coming up a little bit later, puck drop 9:30. The Golden Knights are down in Dallas, American Airlines Arena, taking on the Stars. And that's game 1 in the West. And then also game 1 in the West. Now the West is getting going. Somebody said, I'm not giving any love to the West in the NHL. I love the West. I think the West may very well win the Cup because we got the Kings and the Oilers up in Edmonton. That's a 10 p.m. puck drop. So NHL in full action. I will keep you up to date tonight. NBA now. Let's go to the Garden right now. 76ers and Knicks in a good one. Right now, the Sixers are up 48-41. 3 minutes to go in the second period. Sixers were up on Saturday night, too, and lost. So, leads don't mean anything. Basketball is a game of runs, obviously. I always say you tune in the last 2 minutes, you pretty much got the game.
Oh, no turnover.
Yep. Woof. There we go. That's it. What a dive that was, Marlon. All right, so here we go. We got Nuggets and Lakers. That's 10 o'clock. That game coming up. And out in Cleveland, we got the Cavaliers. Ooh, they're smoking the Magic. 67-49, 8 to go there in the third. Cavaliers in control. And all right, so we'll keep you up to date on those scores. I'll get to baseball a little later, but I do want to get to a couple of stories. We had one massive wreck involving several cars just before the checkered flag at Talladega. Wild race yesterday. This is Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. What looked to be a thrilling finish at the Geico 500 at Talladega turned into a smoky, twisted heap of damaged metal as several cars wrecked in one of the largest wrecks you'll ever see. The whirlwind of chaos was triggered when Michael McDowell attempted to block Brad Keselowski. McDowell went spinning, and the rest was history. You know, those guys, when they block each other for different teams, it gets very nasty. Incredibly, none of the drivers reported serious injuries, thank goodness. Tyler Reddick took advantage of the opening, the wreck, and won the race. So Tyler Reddick with the win. However, that was just the beginning of the good times for the Reddick family on Sunday. Reddick's son got to celebrate with his dad's team owner, Michael Jordan, after the race. Yeah, MJ owns the car. The victory is the 6th Cup Series win of Reddick's career. So NASCAR, put to bed, but that was a crazy finish there if you had the chance to see it. And, I don't give enough love to the girls' gymnastics, and we really should. We got, this is a great story out of Breitbart, Warner Todd Houston. Best day ever, Olivia Dunn. LSU wins gymnastics national championship. They got a hell of a gymnastics team down there, Big D. Despite the constant stream of detractors, popular social media star and college gymnast Oliver Dunn. I think she was in a What Even Is That at one time, right?
Yes.
Livy Dunn.
Yeah,
Olivia Dunn. Yeah.
Had Olivia Dunn. What did I say, Oliver?
Yeah.
Yeah, Olivia, excuse me. Had the last laugh after ending, I know Rick's very sensitive about her, had a college gymnastics career as a national champion alongside her Louisiana State University teammates. The victory was
Well, you never know.
LSU's
I mean, Oliver Dunn could join the LSU gymnastics team if he wanted to, if there was such a person.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden and most people would have no problem with it.
If there was a twist of fate, yeah. So the victory was LSU's first winning was their first time winning the national title. LSU scored 198.2250 points, eking out a victory over the second place California, who came in really just 197.85. So that was a tight score. Haley Bryant led the Final Four with a 39.7 all-around score on Saturday. Every team was out there fighting for their lives, and all 4 teams could have gone any of 4 ways out there. LSU coach Jay Clark said, I think as much as I feel for what happened to Oklahoma in the semifinals, I think it made for a championship that became so packed with emotion because every team out there believed they could do it, and it was just tremendous. So congratulations to the lovely ladies of the LSU gymnastics team on your championship. Great young ladies. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. I'm going to throw it back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. 36 past the hour on a Monday, live from Studio 6B. Sports was brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. LFS6B is the code to use if you're going to shop there. It'll give you a great savings. Plus, you can get the shirt of the month from us free as a bonus for using it, and you get entered into the drawing. So next week, 2 people a night for 5 nights.
Sweet.
Let's do some news. News is brought to you by our friends at 7 Cells. Rick Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, there's a conspiracy theory out there, Damon, that the left is trying to get Donald Trump killed. And I think
conspiracy theory?
We've actually talked about it. Well, this Newsweek piece that just came out, Donald Trump could lose Secret Service protection under a new bill. What a surprise. As a prominent House Democrat known as Benny Thompson, you might remember his TV debut as the ranking member of the House Committee on Homeland Security, bringing forth the January 6 trials. The Mississippi representative, he introduced new legislation that would strip felons of Secret Service protection, specifically mentioning former President Donald Trump in case he's convicted in one or more of his criminal trials.
Are there many felons who had Secret Service protection earlier in their life? Like who would exactly this be referring to?
I'm not really sure. I thought maybe he was channeling Hillary or something. Who knows? But the Mississippi representative said the Disgraced Act, is what she calls it, would terminate Secret Service protection for individuals convicted of either state or local felonies. Trump, whose first of 4 criminal trials involving hush money payments and alleged falsified records prior to 2016 election, is specifically mentioned by Thompson as someone whose protection privileges would be affected should he be found guilty.
Mm-hmm. Well, who else would be affected by this? I just wonder if this is not solely being brought up to target him. How many people fall into this category of having secrets? Where would you be? What line of work would you be in, or what position would you have held to have had Secret Service protection and then become possibly a felon? If this is not targeted just at Trump, how many people fall in that umbrella?
It's a very small group of people.
Like a small group, like of a 0?
Like exactly.
A small group of 1, I believe.
Well, yeah, 1 now, but before this.
Right.
Historically, not.
Historically, 0.
I mean, can someone think of one seriously? Like, I mean, I could be totally uninformed. I am on most things. But who would fall under this if this is not solely designed for Trump?
Well, that's why it's a brand new bill, because it doesn't exist, and it has never existed. Thompson argued that the current laws on the books do not contemplate how or whether Secret Service protection should or would occur in the instance that Trump, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee, or anyone else, they throw that in there, anyone else, currently requiring protection is sentenced to prison. Now, keep in mind, they have still not granted RFK Jr. Secret Service
that's
protection.
true.
So they're trying to get him killed, too.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, listen, I I'm not one for going off the reservation with saying outlandish things. At least I try not to. But
I say welcome to the
win at all costs means win at all costs for them.
Come on.
They're only interested in whatever it takes to. What we said this the other day on whatever we were talking about on Thursday. Before I wasn't here Friday, but whatever we were talking, they don't care about. They just care about keeping the damn power.
Right.
So take the Secret Service, and if that ends up being from a 3-man race to now it's a 1-man race because the other. I mean, I don't know. I can see where people think that.
Well, you know what? We know it's specific to Trump. I mean, or else it would have come out much earlier.
Well, I mean, again, who else falls in the?
Nobody falls.
Where are these parameters? Is this a wide swath of? We really got to come up with this.
Yeah, because it seems to be happening.
Because all these Secret Service protection people, they're all becoming felons, and we got to come up with a way not to. One day, we're trying to save money. We're being fiscally responsible.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Just amazing. Hey, here's a follow-up on a story you may have remembered. I'll just start it off with this. Maybe they should have taken the pizza. As New York is cracking down on the $1 million squatter, believe it or not, the Queens illegal tenant who's been living rent-free without a care in the world for months has finally been moving on. The alleged squatter, accused of living in the $1 million home while earning money by renting out bedrooms to other people, it's just insanity, has finally been charged. Brian Rodriguez was indicted last Thursday on charges of burglary, grand larceny, criminal possession of stolen property, criminal trespass, and criminal mischief. Homeowner Adele Andaloro had been checking in on the home in Flushing, Queens in February that she inherited when she realized the front door had been changed. Prosecutors say that over several days, Andaloro witnessed Rodriguez inside the property. He claimed to be leasing the property. Of course, you remember she was arrested. She was dramatically handcuffed and led off to jail after claiming that he was. This was after Andalero claimed that he was a legal tenant. Of course, that's all changed now, as Jay turned out to be Rodriguez, who previously told New York Post that he was scammed into renting the home with a fake lease drawn up by a fraudulent realtor. Now he's trying to blame somebody else that he was scamming his way into somebody else's house. Let's see. The man, Rodriguez warned Andaloro to pay him. So he was telling the owner to pay him $18,000 for the repairs he put on the plumbing, electric work, paint job, and cleaning he claims that he paid for. Well, all those tables are now turned. He is being charged. And in New York State, I guess eventually, hopefully, sometimes the laws work for you.
All right, live from Studio 6B. More news, sports, all coming up on a Monday night.
She told me. Imagine, can you believe it? 20 years. That is crazy. It is and it isn't. Everybody abandoned me. How do you like that? Are we live? All right, here we are, Slick Rick. I'm on show for 2 minutes. Let you know, I'll actually get to say a few words nonstop for 2 minutes with no interruption. Here we go. Big D's getting his Danish on and his coffee, and Rick is probably drying his socks again. So anyway, here I am, Slick Rick. We going watching the game. So I'm looking at the camera, but I'm also watching the game too. But I'm engaged with what the boys are saying. And you definitely got to honor somebody tonight in the sports world. I want to thank Kristen8915 in the Get a Chat for reminding me of a 20-year anniversary of a very sad situation. So I'm going to definitely be mentioning that in my next sports report. We got What Even Is That coming up in the at the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. Finally, Rick Delgado has put together a What Even Is That we can actually play on the show. We have the staff to do it tonight. Big D's in the house. So we're looking forward to that as well. And what am I, a two-minute infomercial here for the show? Anyway, good to see everybody, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. What do you got, about a minute 20 we're going to be going on? Okay. And we'll keep you updated on the sports as well as everything else that's going on in the world. We cover a broad span of topics, as you all know. We appreciate you being here tonight, putting up with us crazy guys, and see you in a little bit. We'll be back in 1 minute. We're going to be airing the show again. So see you for segment 4. Fran, anything to add? Okay, no problem. Hey, how about some Slick Rick music? Slick Rick. I haven't heard my buddy in lately. Yaboo.
Hey, I can do that instead of this hold music.
Yeah, give him a little Slick Rick for a second, then give him the whole music. Hello, Harry Oates. I like that beginning. Got that nice Charlie Brown type piano.
Mr. Slick Rick.
Here we go.
Hey,
what do you eat, Big D? A chimichanga?
The show's begun.
Oh, steak sandwich. Nice.
Buddy is ho-hum. There on the left-hand side.
Thank you, friend.
That magic smile. Oh, the man in the dress makes me pause.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday. Let's do some more news. News is brought to you by our friends at 7cells, 7cells.com. LFS6B is the code to use. 20% off whatever you put in your cart. And here with the news. What even is that? Coming up at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Is Rick Delgado. What's going on?
Hey, I don't know if you caught this over the weekend, but it seems to be getting a lot of play because it's coming from NBC. Turns out NBC did a poll comparing President Trump with the guy who's currently in there. You might know him. Heard of him. He's a dog-faced pony soldier. Well, the poll for which candidate would be better, handling a bunch of different topics, came out. And it's amazing that it came out on NBC, that they actually played this. Here's cut number 4. Watch this for yourself.
We talk about the erosion for Biden, and now you start to see it. Look at these numbers. Trump advantages on all of these traits.
And I stop here because competent and effective, that was President Biden's,
Look at the number.
crux of his campaign pitch back in 2020.
And we actually polled this question in 2020, and it was basically the exact opposite. It was Biden with about a 10-point advantage over Trump. And again, same with handling a crisis. Biden had the edge over Trump. And how about this? It's the former president, the current president. We don't really see matchups like this. Well, now we can measure it. Who has the strong record as president? And again, Trump outpacing Biden on that front. And again, you got to mention this one too. Necessary mental and physical health. We asked this 4 years ago. It was a wash. It's now a clear liability for Joe Biden. So these are all troubling numbers for Biden.
Yeah, very troubling numbers for Biden. He's down across the board, especially dealing with the inflation and cost of living. Trump is up plus 22. If it comes to mental and physical health, Trump is up 19. And as well as strong record as president, plus 7. Trump is also plus 9, competent and effective. So
those numbers are way too high for Biden. I mean, come on.
I know.
Come on.
But it's just amazing that they would even run it, and the fact that they're running it again, I don't think, and Slick Rick is with me on this. We don't think he's going to be there come August. Nope. We think there's going to be a problem. He's going to have to step it down, but he's got to make sure he's got all his delegates lined up and ready to do what he tells them to do. So we'll see what happens.
You guys are still on that train, huh?
Still on that train.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
me and John Solomon feel just fine about our position.
Yes. Anyhow. Here's something you might not remember, or you might not realize, but I'm sure most people do now that we've settled into inflation and the new normal prices. However, many of us haven't adjusted to the change in the lifestyle, as we're hearing, and we see people complaining about going in debt, not being able to afford things. Here's a quick little list of things and how they've changed in prices that we used to be able to afford that now maybe not so much. The median home price for 2024 is a whopping $417,000 in the U.S. By contrast, in 2000, guess how much it was? Anyone? $165,300. That's just one of the price points.
That's the what?
That's the median home price from the year 2000 was $165,300 in the U.S. Now it's a staggering $417,000.
Wow.
When you talk about new cars, let's see.
But that's more because house prices have just gone up, as all assets have gone up since 2000.
No, I understand that, but we're talking about.
Of course, the cost of a house has gone up,
right?
Yes, but the value of homes,
and you juxtapose that between no growth in wages. And you see why people are struggling, because they can't keep up with those prices because of inflation. According to the U.S. Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy, the average price of a new vehicle was just over $20,000 in 2000. Today, it's more than double that at $48,000. That's not counting insurance. If you got to ask about how much the insurance is going to be, chances are you probably can't afford it.
I just saw something that the new Tesla Model Y is like $18,000. I just saw that today.
Wow.
$18,000 for the Tesla Model Y.
Wow, you're buying that for your son for his graduation?
I think that's what it was. Yeah. I'll look.
Yeah, look it up, because I know in California with all the rebates, you might be able to get the price that low, but mostly around the country, it's not going to be that low. Cost of tuition, of course, we've talked about a bunch. Oh, yeah. Tuition at a 4-state in-state university went from $5,270 in 2000 to more than $10,000 in 2020, according to the Manhattan Institute. That's a jump of nearly $10,000. That's just for local schools. Let's see, healthcare way up as well.
Sorry, I was off a little bit. $29,490 for the Model Y.
Yeah, you can get that with a bunch of rebates, and you got to live in certain states to get those rebates.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice the subtitle on that? It says after a federal tax credit and estimated gas savings.
Right.
So you're still paying more at the dealer.
All right, let me just order one of these things. Let's see how much it is. Order now.
Give it to your son for his graduation.
And let's see, finally, for healthcare spending, average of $2,000 per household in 2000. That's well over $5,800, so almost $6,000 by 2022 when you're talking about healthcare spending for the average household in the country. They go through a bunch of other numbers, like concert tickets being up 37%. Concert tickets are stupid. I don't know if you guys saw gas just down the street is now back up to about $3.59. In 2000, it was only $128. Let's see, movie tickets, of course. I think we've all seen the movie ticket prices jump. Yeah. They were as low as $5 and $6 in 2000. Now they're pushing $12 to $14 to $16 just across the board. And that doesn't even count for the $20 for popcorn. So just some staggering numbers for anybody trying to live on their own these days and make ends meet.
Yeah. So that's and by the way, it's not getting any better.
No.
And it's not going to get any better before November. Now, the interesting play will be to see what Biden does with the Federal Reserve. Is the Fed supposed to be this, independent body? And Biden said in a speech a couple weeks ago, there will be a rate cut before the end of the year. Wait, excuse me? That's not supposed to be your decision. That's supposed to be up to the Fed, for Jerome Powell to decide if there's going to be a rate cut based, he says, on the data coming in. And the data the last 2 months would tell us that, no, there's not going to be a rate cut. At least not in June. Maybe he pushes them off to the end of the year, right? Maybe right before November. There could be one, maybe in October or November or December. But I was thinking about this. I wish President Trump would take a firmer stance. Well, on a lot of things, but one specifically. I wish he would take a firmer stance on Bitcoin and monetary freedom and individual liberty and individual freedom when it comes to sound money. I heard RFK, who obviously I would never vote for because I look at the totality of RFK and he's a raging leftist.
Yeah, kind of.
But when he talks about sound money, if I was a single issue voter and the continued theft of my purchasing power and the theft of my the continued what's the word I want to call this? I don't know.
Confiscation of your wealth?
Yeah, that and just overall Ponzi scheme of the Fed and its printing of money and the way it just confiscates your wealth. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
The way they manipulate everything?
Yeah. When I hear RFK Jr. talk about it, if I was a single issue voter, I would vote for him. When he talks about putting the U.S. budget on the blockchain, when he talks about the transparency of what sound money, what that means, what is money, I would vote for him. And I'm telling you, crypto is going to be a big voting block in November. The crypto community, the Bitcoin community, the sound money scarcity in a world of nothing scarce community is a big voting block. They've got big action in Washington. And I wish President Trump would take a more pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin, pro-individual liberty, sound money position than he has on just saying, well, I'm a big fan of the U.S. dollar. I think RFK's got a lot of the ideas right. All right, live from Studio 6B, Hour 2 coming up.
I'm trying to keep quiet about it, but you noticed. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
I knew Maxey would have a good night, but I don't think he shut him down. Knicks aren't going away, though. Sixers had a 10-point lead. It's just like this is very reminiscent of what happened Saturday night. Sixers look good. And Sixers had a big third quarter, though, on Saturday night, but they floundered in the fourth. And, oh, what a shot.
Boy, that'd be a hell of a call if he has 40. You said 40. I thought you were out of your mind when you said that.
He's got 20.
He could turn into Damian Lillard from last night, too. 35 in the first half, 0 in the second.
I've seen that. I saw Maxey put up 20 in the first quarter and go to 0. Oof. Knicks just will not go away. They're annoying.
Well, they're not going to go away.
And they're home.
And what's his name? Still not having a better game tonight.
Nice steal.
And Brunson's not having a great game again.
Nope. No. And I think Maxey's giving Brunson the business. Maxey's is a very good player, good defender. He's playing off him now. Oubre's a pretty good defender, too. He's got a big range.
Him.
Yeah, I like Oubre. He's good. He's got a good shot.
What the hell was that?
Game. It's Josh Hart, man. He came out of nowhere. I mean, for me, I'm not familiar with him.
Well, the whole team is Villanova.
Yeah, he's a Villanova kid.
Brunson, him, right there. Those three stacked together. All played Villanova together.
And DiVincenzo.
I don't really remember Hart. I don't really remember.
They got him last year from Portland.
Okay. I just feel like he's coming to his own all of a sudden.
They're all Villanova guys.
Yeah.
They had a fourth one, but they cut him. And the guy they cut was the MVP of the tournament when they won the championship.
I don't think the Sixers are going to. They got to get this game tonight. Islanders look good. They're up 3-0 in Carolina. 3 goals. I've seen the Islanders blow that lead.
Borelli's has got to be. They got to be fired up over there.
I'll tell you, the Islanders, that was a must-win. But I tell you, Boston looks good. The Rangers look great. Boston Rangers, that's going to be your, I believe that'll set up as your conference final. That's going to be a bloodbath.
Look at Stephen A. sitting there in the front.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez. Calamity of errors. This team.
Yeah, it's true.
Hour 2, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Monday night. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's doing sports. Rick Delgado's doing the news. What even is that? Coming up here in a second. Glad you're in on a Monday. Make sure you follow us on all our social media at LFS6B, pretty much everywhere. And make sure you head over to livefromstudio6b.com. Sign up to be a member there at the website as well. Check out all the merch, all the clips, all the shows, everything housed at livefromstudio6b.com. So make sure you stay tuned over there as well. Lots to get into in hour 2. Andy McCarthy today in the Washington. Well, first of all, the Washington Times had a piece today. New poll shows Trump trailing Biden in New York by 10 points. And I don't know if this was meant to be a negative article, a positive article. But 10 points doesn't seem that bad.
No.
Given where we are in the year.
Not with 6 months to go, not at all. And not when you see some of the reactions. Ben Bergquam was talking about wearing his Trump hat, and people were loving it.
And it's a New York Times Siena poll.
And they both hate Trump.
Biden leads Trump in the Empire State by 47% to 37%. The survey also shows that 4% would vote for somebody else, 7% wouldn't vote. And 5% either don't know who to vote for or refuse to respond. 10-point advantage would be good news for a candidate in many states, but not for Biden in deep blue New York. So we've been talking about it.
Maybe MAGA Square Garden doesn't sound like such a bad idea. Now does it?
Come
Slick?
on,
right?
Sell it out like Billy Joel.
Well, I still stand by my question. If you lose by 60 in 20, if you lose by 10 in 24, if this polls, let's say it just stays there. Is it worth putting resources into New York? You guys say yes. Maybe you're right.
I think it makes a big statement, too.
Yeah, it does.
All right, let's. It's time now for one of my new favorite segments here on the show, and that, of course, is Rick Delgado with What Even Is That?
All right, Damon, well, thank you. And I know it's been a little busy and a little crazy, and especially, let's say, after a weekend of all these Hamas protests that you see, and finding out that trans people are operating at some of the highest levels of government that makes your head explode. Some of you might be thinking, okay, well, what does this have to do with it? You might know this band. What does this have to do? Well, you might know some of their music, but I think most of you would know their most famous video, and some would say their best song is this one. Once in a lifetime. Yeah, it could be the anthem of how we, the people, and our country ended up how we are today. David Byrne, the lead singer of the Talking Heads, asked through the song, "How did I get here?"
Yes.
Which I think a lot of us are asking. Like, why even is that, you ask? Well, because much of like the confusion we see on the screen, and as the lyrics say, what we see as a nation, we're asking ourselves collectively. And that's simple. How did we get here?
Yeah.
If you were listening to Dan Bongino's, how did I screw that up? Dan Bongino's podcast last Tuesday, he asked the very same question, and here's how he answered it.
Little incremental changes is the way the left got us here now. Folks, the country you remember, how many of you were born in the 50s and 60s? You're a little older than me. I was born in the 70s. But we've got a pretty relatively young audience. You know the country was totally different. Totally different.
Totally different. And little incremental changes, like he mentioned, that happen over time have moved us towards their intended goal, but done in a way so that no one really notices. Yeah, we might notice a little and say,
What the hell is even that?
Right. But then as soon as that wears off, it would be small and quick, and then our attention would soon be drawn elsewhere by the deep state media that would go and maybe find that next shiny thing for us to focus on.
Yeah.
Hey, Twitter world, it's me, O.J. Mahomes.
Yeah. And just like that, and yes, the horse does just keep getting up, Damon. Like everyone, like someone famous dying, for instance. They'll get us distracted with that, or whatever they can use to distract us from what's really going on. I think a perfect example of this type of shenanigans can be explained by watching just one episode of this show. Dr. Pimple Popper.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, well, stay with me here.
What even is that?
Take a look. Take a look and see what I mean.
That's it.
Look.
And I've got a tumor on the back of my head that about the size of a softball.
Softball?
Yeah. Now this guy, Jason, here, didn't just wake up one day with this huge second head growing out of his neck like Rosie Greer in his greatest acting role ever.
I want to transplant my head on a healthy body. I think I like to donate my body to science after all.
So they transplanted the white head onto the black body.
Yes, brilliant acting, isn't it? Anyhow, back to Dr. Pimple Popper to hear Jason tell it. The patient says that he first noticed a small lump 13 years before it got to this point. Like I said, this didn't happen overnight. And it's the same thing with a show like Tobro, right? You don't just get out of bed one morning and your feet look like this.
What show?
Oh.
Come on.
Come on.
Like being in a bad relationship that was so great until one of you did something, like cut the cheese maybe. And now 5 years later, in this magical relationship of perfect coupleness that was the envy of everyone, is just another marriage gone bad because no one wanted to take care of the problem when it first started, and now you're on the Jerry Springer show. Right?
Whoa.
Look out. Come on.
So just like what has happened to this country, all these things start out small. You don't notice them at first, or you do and like that fart, but you're like, oh, it's cute or whatever, and you don't think much of it. But maybe it was cute because it was a girl fart. And then, one day you wake up and it's like this. Yes. You look like that waking up because now you see what you've let metastasize. You can see what happens, right? You get to see it in all its ugliness. You see the lump. Yeah. Well, for us, the left is that lump. Mm-hmm. Now, this one looks a little bit deflated, but regardless, because as you can tell, it was left alone, ignored, and it was metastasized, and stupid us, we trusted the people we voted in to stop it. They were supposed to be our compound W. They were supposed to be our preparation H. They were supposed to take care of it, but as it turns out, the so-called conservatives, who turned out to be rhinos, well, turns out they're lumps too. Mm-hmm. And wherever we look, from our head to our feet to our ass, the only thing we now see are lumps. Huge, grotesque lumps who have taken our culture and our country and turned it into this thing we don't even recognize anymore. Mm-hmm. It's one thing, to have a thing with two heads.
Get up. You a doctor? So far, so good. Then how about you taking old happy face off of here?
Yeah, the question now turns, what can we do about it?
Yeah. Why are they not all getting out and in unison going out there and beating someone's ass? Why? Explain it to me.
Now, of course, the left, or maybe we should call them the lumps. The lumps, like this guy here, always accuse us conservatives of fomenting this kind of violence that this host from Real America's Voice was just talking about. What? Now, I'm not saying we should be doing that, but I would say that the aforementioned rabid host might be letting us know that as a nation, even he is tired of ignoring the obvious problems that come with Swayze time.
I want you to be nice.
Okay.
Ask him to walk, but be nice.
Be nice.
If you won't walk him, but be nice. If you can't walk him, one of the others will help you, and you'll both be nice.
Yeah, well, it turns out maybe we have reached the end of Swayze time. But how will we know?
I want you to be nice until it's time to
to not be nice.
All right. So like I said, the way we have ended up like this, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't just happen a week or a month. If you don't believe me, just ask this guy. I'm sure he was fully dressed when he first went missing in Dick Morris's closet 6 months ago. But if we're going to start beating some ass, quote unquote, and finally start rid ourselves of these lumps, we need to do it by making our voices heard even more, even louder. We need to make sure we vote each and every time, each and every election. We need to stand up for ourselves and our principles and demand our representatives do the same or else.
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
Yeah, then we'll stop being nice. So these loony lumps on the left, you can act all innocent and stand there all you want, like Paul Pelosi, and claim you just,
Didn't we see nails earlier?
You just woke up and that you're in a dress shirt and undies sipping on a glass of scotch at 2 a.m. and nothing was going on. But just like a man does not simply call his wife Michael, a man does not simply end up with a homeless guy at his house when his wife is 3,000 miles away in a two-man unicorn costume out of nowhere. Let's face it, that's something you work up to over time. How many times? I don't know. I don't think I want to know. But we do know that the citizens of this country, that when your man toy has finally had enough of your shenanigans and you refuse to pay him for his edition of the Thursday night 2 a.m. Naked Hammer Fight Club hullabaloo, the time might come to stop being nice and to beat your ass.
Yeah.
What was his name? Stanley? No.
Speaking of beating some ass,
why are they not all getting out and in unison going out there and beating someone's ass? Why? Explain it to me.
Back to you.
All right. Well, see, here we go again.
Yeah.
I always have to find my way into these things. Have you noticed this pattern, Slick?
Yes, I do. I see it wholeheartely.
What? I thought you made a great point. About the frustration people in this country are feeling. What? I was trying to.
I think I made a good point too, and I still stand by it. I don't know why people don't get out and just beat some ass. But I don't know why I always have to find my way into these. What even is that?
But I was trying to honor you.
Now even the audience is on to what you're doing.
I don't understand what you're saying.
No, well, you do understand. Everybody starts to understand.
Are you going to beat my ass?
But it's still funny. I like it. I'll beat your ass with a hammer.
That's what I said.
All right, Rick Delgado with What Even Is That here on a special Monday night edition. Now, will there be a What Even Is That on Friday?
Yes. As long as you're here, yes.
Oh, bonus.
Well, I wrote this one last week, but we couldn't do it because of extenuating circumstances.
Okay. Yes.
So.
Another one.
Okay.
Friday night.
And maybe we'll raise something else from the dead once again. I don't know.
Oh, is that a hint already? Is that a hint already?
Maybe this horse won't stay down.
This horse won't stay down.
One more.
Might be my favorite line of the year so far from an audience member is that line. When I saw that, I almost fell off my chair.
It is a funny line.
Because it's exactly what I was thinking at that time that he said it. Like, he just will not let this go. So.
Kind of like Paul Pelosi.
He had a grip on it, for sure.
There you go. So. All right, there's your 2 a.m. Naked Hammer Fight Club for a Monday night on Real America's Voice, and you have another one to look forward to on Friday.
On Friday.
Man, I mean, what a week this is shaping up to be.
Yeah.
Tonight, you got a What Even Is That?
Yeah.
Ben Bergquam tonight and tomorrow night, maybe even live in studio. Another What Even Is That on Friday. And, well, I was going to say Harry on the Highway maybe being here, but no one's looking forward to that. So
You just ruined the week.
All right, sports coming up with Slickster. More news right after this.
Look at Harris. Oh, God.
Charge.
Definitely. Look at his weasel.
This guy is such.
He's a weasel.
He
He looks like he should be shining shoes, this guy. Wow.
Tobias Harris. What is he doing?
Oh, Harris is out. He's a train wreck.
Terrible.
He is terrible.
Why would he charge into it?
He was trying to get in there. I think they're going to trade him to the Knicks. I think he'd be a good addition for your club.
We'd love to see you guys live.
We are live. What are we talking about?
We'd love to see you live.
Speaking of live, we have live reads here.
Hey,
We have
live
live
reads.
reads.
Live reads, everyone.
I really enjoyed What Even Is That? Slick Rick is funny, too.
That was a walk.
Thank you.
That was a walk. Guy just walked.
It's
After
called
listening to
travel.
all the BS all day, you guys make my night. Thank you, Nancy.
Rumpel says, but the hammer thing is
Oh,
been
the travel.
beaten to death almost.
Thank God, Delgado, for you.
Almost, not quite.
I love when people write me emails trying to explain to me why you put me in these things. Like, I think they, like when I'm like, how do I have to find my way into these things? People think I still I'm serious.
You're
about
surprised?
It. Yeah. They try to explain it to me.
They don't know you read the
Damon,
script
this
before?
is what he's doing. It's a joke. It's like a running joke. Do you
It's like the Paul Pelosi thing. It's a running joke. Hello, Twitter world. I'm OJ Mahomes. Come on, that's a great clip.
That was great.
It's only 4 seconds.
Paula says, love your show. Thank you.
That was fantastic, that clip. That was fantastic.
Richard says, Damon, I love your hat. Thank you. Should have worn it tonight because I knew that was part of it, of course.
You should have worn a hat tonight. It's a nice hat. You never wear it.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be like part of your show.
Allison Johnson. Hey, Big D. Hello, Allison Johnson.
You get DoorDash with that hat?
That hat's great.
Where'd you get that hat?
Because Damon is always ragging on Delgado. Yes.
Never.
And I mean every word of it, too.
You're a big, mean ogre.
I know.
Paul used to call you.
That's what we call him when he's not here, Slick. Don't say anything.
You're a big, mean ogre. Look at that. Simply spiked lemonade. Here we go.
Big, mean ogre.
There's a Burger Queen ad. We got everything on tonight, huh? Look at this. Come out.
Speaking of ads, Damon.
Speaking of ads.
Oh. What are we doing right now?
Birch Gold, Patriot Mobile.
Well, 17 past the hour on a Monday night. I got to read something here. Aaron, stop laughing. Well, that's our friends from Birch Gold. I'll start there. It's a very common sense reason, by the way, that gold has been pushing to all-time high lately. And actually, there's several reasons. Number one, the cost of goods continues to rise despite interest rate controls by the Fed. Since January of 21, cost of living is up 18%. Delgado was just talking about this. The national debt continues to skyrocket, now above $34 trillion, causing many to worry when the house of cards will come crashing down. And a presidential election year. That's number three. That's going to have massive implications on the future of this country. All of this adds up to one thing. You know what that is? Or really two things. Instability and uncertainty. And that is why so many Americans are turning to Birch Gold in the Birch Gold Group. Have you diversified your savings yet? Well, secure a portion of them with gold from Birch Gold. Text America to 989898 and get your free information kit. You'll learn how to convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, and it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. Birch Gold has an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Thousands of satisfied customers. You can count on Birch Gold. Just text America to 989898 and claim your free information kit and learn how to protect your savings from uncertainty. And do it today with Birch Gold. Text America to 989898. Well, for 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. And when I say only, trust me, they're the only one. They have been great supporters of the network, which is why we were proud to partner with them. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, giving you the ability to access all 3 major networks, which means you get the same coverage you've been used to without funding the left. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending the message that you support free speech, religious freedom, and the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and of course our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team, let me say that again, 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching absolutely a breeze. Keep your number, keep your phone, or you can upgrade if you want. Their team will help you find the best plan to fit your needs. Just go to patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation. What? Free activation when you use the offer code RAV. Join me. Make the switch today. That's patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and My Pillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, big deal. Let's get back to the playoff scores right now. NHL action. Good one up down in Boston there. Bruins tied with 2 with the Maple Leafs. 14 to go in the third. Shaping up for a fantastic finish. Islanders right now after 2 periods leading the Carolina Hurricanes 3-1 with that dreaded 2-goal lead. Golden Knights taking on the Stars. 9:30 puck drop down in Dallas. And then the Kings are out west to take on the Oilers up in Edmonton. That's a 10 p.m. puck drop. We got NBA action as well. Cavaliers 87-74 over the Magic. 4:57 to go there in the fourth. So they look to be in command in Cleveland. And then we have the Knicks. Right now, their Sixers just went up 72-70 over the Knicks, back and forth. But I see Joel Embiid is sitting on the bench getting his knee or calf massage. So that's not a good look there. 2:41 to go in the third in the Garden. Knicks looking strong here. Lakers and Nuggets. That's a 10 p.m. tip-off out west as well. And, I want to get to this story. Actually, the most important story in sports today would be remembering the great, and I do mean great, Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman died 20 years ago today. I got to thank Kristen8915 in the chat for reminding me of that because I did not see it in the sports feed. And when I looked it up, sure enough, Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk by way of NBC Sports. After the 9/11 attacks killed thousands of Americans, many considered joining the effort to keep our nation safe. Some did. One gave up his NFL career and 2 years later gave his life to the cause. Former Cardinals safety Pat Tillman died 20 years ago today, killed in action in Afghanistan. Tillman turned down a contract offer from the Cardinals to join the U.S. Army, enlisting with his brother Kevin. Tillman ultimately spent only 4 seasons in the NFL, and he was a darn good player, too. His death initially was attributed to enemy combatants. It was later revealed that Tillman was killed by friendly fire, a fact that was concealed from Tillman's family and the public. That was a whole nother story, right? Regardless, Tillman gave his life for his country. He died as a hero. He lived as a hero. He walked away from the safety the military provides, enjoying the effort to provide it. His example is a reminder that everyone who serves accepts the risk of the same outcome. They serve anyway. Some have suggested that Tillman should have a bronze bust in the Hall of Fame. While he didn't play long enough to earn enshrinement in the usual way, his life and death merit that kind of recognition that the Hall of Fame should be proud to extend to his life and his memory. And I agree 1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
Sign me up for that petition. I'm there all day, twice on Sunday for that guy. Just absolutely great man, Pat Tillman. Terrible story. You hear this so often, these KIAs or friendly fire. You know, it happens. You're in the combat, and it's really a shame. So, Pat Tillman, rest in peace, young man. And
I mean, certainly it's a terrible story, obviously, the way we mean it, but it's a remarkable American story, though.
It is.
Right? It's a story of unbridled courage, love of country.
Patriot. I mean, that's a true
when you
patriot.
talk about American hero, there's hardly anybody else you could point to above what Pat Tillman did.
Ultimate sacrifice, and that's what Memorial Day is. In May, that's the ultimate sacrifice people do, and that's we remember those that were killed in service, and that's what Memorial Day is all about. I think people are more worried about barbecues and parties and this and that. Unofficial first day of summer. Really got to stop. I mean, I'm involved with a parade every year. It means the world to me. It is the most important part of my tenants as a chamber president is running and overseeing that parade and that memorial. So shout out to the great Pat Tillman, and thank you, Kristen, for bringing that to my attention. I'm glad I caught that story.
Do you have like a on that parade? Is there like a what do you call it? Like Grand Master of the parade or something like that? What's it called? The
Grand Marshal,
Grand Marshal,
for Memorial Day, we don't have that. For Memorial Day, you generally don't have. I don't know the protocol there, but that's usually like a St. Patrick's Day parade, something like that. But I'm the president, so I guess in perpetuity, I'm pretty much I am the MC of the ceremonies.
I was just thinking if you wanted like a Grand Marshal this year,
yeah. You'd be a grand choice, huh? You just want that nice sash, that big sash, Big D coming down there with a big cigar. Yeah. But no, it's really a great. All kidding aside, we actually have a beautiful memorial monument in Holbrook. It was the first one in New York State, second one in the country for a KIA killed in action in Vietnam in 1967. Alex DeGuardia, a Holbrook boy, volunteer fighter, St. James graduate, died. Friendly fire, same thing. He was in a tank and he was killed by his own men. Unfortunately, it was, Vietnam was, you talk about a wild war that was. And so we always remember him and his family. I think there's only his sister left, the Gold Star sister. And you never get over that. You just learn to live alongside it as a family member. And that's a wrap, Big D.
All right, Slick, very good. 25 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We don't have time to do news. We'll do some news when we get back.
Broke Spoke says your hat could be afloat in that parade, David.
I like that, right?
Imagine getting a bunch of kids up on that big hat of Davis as he's walking down the street. You got a bunch of kids up there just waving to the crowd.
Who said that?
Broke Spoke. No joke.
Spoke.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very funny guy.
Aaron,
is a funny guy.
Did Broke Spoke send in a April receipt for?
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to remain broke.
Hope we don't lose his email. All right, live from Studio 6B, coming back.
You know what's hurt? Maxey has 0 points in that quarter. There you go. He was on a pace for 40, and he just disappeared. Maxey's done nothing.
Well, has he disappeared, or is the offense is
is the defense forcing him to give up the ball?
Tobias Harris is 4 of 11, stuck at 10 points since the midway through the second.
Since midway through 2021.
He's the worst, Tobias Harris. He really is a liability. Yeah, and you're right. During the season, he averages, look at this shot.
Whoa.
That would have been something.
Hit the front rim. Wow. Down 5 at the end of the third. No good. NG for your team.
Yeah, yep, you're right.
Listen, it is the second seed against the 7th. The Knicks could just be better. Yeah. I mean, they just could be better.
They're just a better team.
I thought the 6 had a better
Maybe
team.
not a lot better, but maybe they're like 4 or 5 points better, and they're defending their home court. So,
yeah.
I mean, the game. Listen, the series doesn't start till someone wins on someone else's floor.
That's what they say.
So,
a good point.
Is it 2-3-2 or 2-2-1-1-1?
I think it's 2-2-1-1-1. I'll tell you right now. 2-2-1-1-1. Yeah, 2-2-1-1-1. Yeah, that's how the NBA rolls in the playoffs. Man, Sixers need to do something here. But I don't know. They got nobody that can shoot the three. Kyle Lowry, he's very streaky at this stage of his career. I would have liked to have Kyle Lowry 10 years ago. Different player.
Yeah, before Embiid came to town, yeah.
Embiid has 20. Embiid's pulling it. He has 29 tonight. He's struggling through a calf issue.
Saying if you had Kyle Lowry 10 years ago, He didn't have MVP because he wasn't on the team.
No, but I would have liked to. Oh, yeah, I still would have liked to have him 10 years ago.
Oh, let's see.
Why do I think the Islanders are going to blow that lead? They do.
What's the score?
3-1.
Oh, the dreaded 2-goal lead.
Going into the third.
Oh my goodness, that's a lifetime away.
Yep.
Amy says, Damon, are you feeling better? Yeah, I feel great.
Oh, the Yankees lost today.
Thank you for asking.
Still only
Oh, no, they're still in shape.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. It's been a busy night. Ben Bergquam joined us. He'll join us again tomorrow. David Zier will be back tomorrow. Happy birthday to David Zier.
Happy birthday,
Celebrating his birthday tonight.
That's right. Happy birthday, Mr. Zier.
Zier is not here, but he is celebrating his birthday. He'll be back tomorrow. He'll be on tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, I believe, this week.
All right.
So David Zier will join us. Ben Bergquam will join us, I think, tomorrow night as well. What's going on at the America's First Warehouse tomorrow night? Maybe we have to pop in there and say hi to Joe the Box.
I guess so.
Yeah.
If Ben's going to be there, I think David Zier is doing something there with Ben. I'm not sure though.
So Ben was talking about obviously what's going on in Columbia and all these colleges, and we've been talking about if you're a Jew living in America in this voting block, how do you vote for Joe Biden? That's my question. How do you vote for a Democrat? Never mind even Joe Biden. How do you vote for a Democrat given this party showing their colors here since October 7th and everything that's happened, including what we're seeing now on these college campuses and here specifically in New York?
Well, again, you know what? I'm not going to say it's from October 7th on. They've been like this for a long time.
But since then it's been.
Now it's more in your face.
Yeah,
maybe
I agree.
But when you have people like the Squad who are anti-Semitic and don't get sanctioned by the House because they're okay with it because they don't care. It's not about whether something's right or wrong. It's you said it earlier. It's about retaining power, and they'll do whatever they have to do if they need to satisfy this voting block. Screw this voting block. We don't care because we got enough self-hating Jews on this side who will agree with the Hamas lovers on this side that it's okay. We can say it. We can get away with it. And hey, I'll even throw it back to what I was saying at the top of the hour. It's been going on for a long time. It's just it happened under the radar for a lot of it, so we didn't notice. Or we didn't want to notice and didn't want to deal with the uncomfortable thing that was in there, because as soon as you bring it up, they go, "Oh my goodness, you must be anti-Semitic, or you must be this, you must be a xenophobe, or you must be anti-Muslim." They throw every trope at you to get you not to notice or at least call them on their BS, and it's BS. So now the chickens are coming home to roost. I believe one famous Barack Obama preacher once said. Right?
Yeah.
Tristan Justice points out, I think fairly, in the Federalist today, that Joe Biden is a terrorist sympathizer until he personally delivers a press conference to condemn anti-Semitism. Those are the rules established by the White House press corps. And if you're thinking to yourself, what do you mean by that? Well, former President Donald Trump condemned Nazis from the White House podium, and the corporate media still accused him of being a white supremacist in cahoots with the KKK. Biden can hide behind a statement from his deputy press secretary to criticize weekend anti-Jew harassment scenes at Columbia University, reminiscent of 1930s Germany, and none in the press corps ask why he hasn't addressed the nation to condemn anti-Semitism himself. Classes were canceled at Columbia today after anti-Semitic demonstrations last week continued through the weekend after testimony on Capitol Hill by university leaders. Columbia University president appeared before the House Committee on Education and the workforce alongside 3 colleagues to answer questions about the school's commitment to protecting Jewish students amid heightened anti-Semitism. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Columbia's code of conduct? Asked Representative Susan Bonamici, Democrat from Oregon. Yes, it does, said each representative from the school. Students on the university's Manhattan campus erupted into protests the same day of the House hearing to chant revolution, uprising. Historically, uprisings have included Islamic violence against Jews. Quote, while every American has a right to peacefully protest, calls for violence and physical intimidation targeting Jewish students in the Jewish community are blatantly anti-Semitic, unconscionable, and dangerous. They have absolutely no place on any college campus or anywhere in the United States of America, White House Deputy Press Secretary Andrew Bates said in a statement out Sunday afternoon. By Sunday, when the White House released that statement, through Bates, who is not even the principal press secretary, the NYPD had arrested and charged more than 100 demonstrators. On Sunday, a Columbia University rabbi pled with the school's Jewish students to go home, claiming conditions on campus were unsafe. The generic White House statement from a low-level staffer on the situation at Columbia University remains in stark contrast to President Donald Trump's repeated condemnations of neo-Nazi white supremacists for years. In 2020, Federalist senior editor John Davidson outlined Trump's long record of condemning white supremacy. Every time David Duke, the former Grand Wizard of the KKK, surfaced in the news cycle, Trump was pressured to comment. The press demanded Trump condemn white supremacy. Trump condemned it, and then the press pretends he didn't, or that he equivocated, or that he dodged somehow. No matter how many times Trump condemns and denounces white supremacy, it will never be enough for the mainstream media, because the point isn't to get him on the record. The point is to accuse him of being a racist. When protesters in Dearborn, Michigan and New York chanted "Death to America," Federalist reported and wrote, all Americans heard from their flailing president and Democrat politicians in Congress, well, what they heard was crickets. They heard nothing. Despite repeatedly condemning white supremacy, President Trump still gets headlines depicting him as a racist, a white supremacist, and most recently, a Christian nationalist, despite the framers' embrace of biblical values to construct the United States. Yet Biden can completely avoid having to speak about outbursts of racist violence from supporters he needs to stay in the White House. By corporate media's own standards, then, even if Biden does speak to condemn the ongoing racist violence perpetrated and encouraged by some of his voters, he should forever be labeled as a supporter of terrorism and racist violence.
Yeah. I mean, he had a chance today. He was questioned coming out of this this environmental thing down in Virginia, and he didn't do that. You want to see it for yourself? Cut number 9. Here we go.
And the anti-Semitic protests on college campuses.
I condemn the anti-Semitic protests. That's why I've set up a program to deal with that. I also condemn those who don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians and how they're being.
Should the Columbia University president resign?
I didn't know that. I'll have to find out more about it.
So basically, he had his people, very fine people on both sides moment there, saying, yeah, he condemns the anti-Semitic stuff, but you don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians. So they got some good people in the Hamas side too. Basically,
sounds that way to me.
He's trying to make. He just wants to.
You uneducated people don't know what's going on here. On the Hamas side, don't jump to any conclusions. That actually kind of sounds worse than fine people on both sides.
Yeah,
but. Well, so that's from Tristan Justice today over at the Federalist. Of course, the media doesn't hold Joe Biden to their own standards because they don't have any standards. They're mostly slime balls. They have no standards. Their only standard is get President Trump. That's their only standard.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to get him, just like everybody else. Just get him at all costs. Let's get him. That's the only standard.
Yeah.
So.
And that standard that you just talked about, well, let's go to Representative Jayapal, who basically says the quiet part out loud here. Cut number 5, basically saying that all these trials, it's all really just political.
And, I go back to the responsibility of Congress here, because had the Senate actually gone through with the impeachment of Donald Trump, we would not be in this situation.
We wouldn't be in this situation today.
Who's the brilliant? Hello. Who's that? That's real great TV.
Yeah. So amazing stuff there. But they just keep exposing themselves. And, you want to, as if it can't get any worse with this D-bag in the White House, Damon. Remember we had a bunch of fun last week talking all sheets about Joe Biden and what he did when he made his stop.
At the Sheets?
At the Sheets.
It is pronounced Sheets, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I had it wrong.
Yeah, I think you had it wrong at first.
The Sheets, yeah.
And let's hope the Biden administration gets it right as well, especially because it looks like they're going to be suing Sheets, believe it or not.
Why? Because no one paid attention to him? I told you no one paid attention to him. Now he's suing him?
Yeah, now they're angry. So they're looking for something. Biden administration hits Sheets, convenience store chain, with a lawsuit despite the campaign stop. Yes.
After he was just there?
After he was just there. They waited until after he left, and they're like, you know what? Now let's talk about suing them. The Pennsylvania-based convenience store chain was hit with a lawsuit by the Biden administration the same time the president stopped by one of their locations on the campaign trail. Sheets is being accused of racial discrimination. You know why? Because people can't pass a background check. Specifically, the EEOC argues that Sheets' criminal background checks were discriminatory because how its system weeded out applicants who were believed to have failed the checks. The EEOC said that this disproportionately impacted Native American, Black, and multiracial job seekers. You might want to ask them, hey, why are you breaking the law? Though the lawsuit does not allege that the discrimination was purposeful, it nonetheless claims that Sheets violated the law. For example, 14.5% of black applicants had allegedly been denied employment due to a failed background check, while fewer than 8% of white applicants were denied employment for the same reason, according to the AP. So there you have it. You get it from the Biden administration one way or another.
He's just mad because no one paid attention to him when he walked in.
Yep, exactly.
So I saw this national poll from
that's right.
Political Polls. What?
I had
Go ahead.
The clip. Sorry about that. Cut 2.
Sheets is being sued over its hiring practices. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed the suit this morning. It claims that the way Sheets bases employment on criminal records disproportionately screens out Black, Native American, and other multiracial applicants, and that this violates federal law. The suit does not accuse Sheets of being motivated by race when making hiring decisions. We have reached out to Sheets for comment, but so far we have not heard back.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. So it's real.
I went to a Sheets when I took my son to Spooky Nuke basketball down in Pennsylvania. You've been there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Great place. It's one of the nicest. I think my wife always is a big Wawa girl because she went to school in Maryland.
Right. Yeah.
Team that's let me down in sports betting about as much as Tennessee has.
Twerps.
But putting that aside, I mean, it's as nice as any place I've ever been in. The Sheets.
Well, if you saw the picture, the picture when the clip was playing, you see how nice it looks.
I mean, we had breakfast there every morning, and I would rather have breakfast there than some local diner. That's how good it was.
And it's clean.
Oh. You could eat off the floor. And the choices of stuff they had, the coffee machines they had to be $50,000 each for what they did. I mean, just incredible. So, anyways, I was saying I saw this poll. This poll said, Damon, you got to go to commercial. Come back. All right, live from Studio 6B. More to do when we get back right after this.
They'll be probably about 4.5 point favorites.
I'm gonna lay the wood on Denver game 3 in the
McBride just rips the ball out and it scores.
What do you think Philly's favored by in game 3?
4.5.
Gotta be more than that.
4.5. Down 2-0. Oh, they're getting blown off the court right now. Maxey will drain these two, so it'll be a 5-point game. But Maxey's got I don't know why he's holding. I guess the Knicks, they defended him well. He's kicking the ball off. Embiid is totally not right. You can see there's something wrong with his left leg there, which I don't want to make an excuse, but the guy's injured.
I think Denver in game 3 in LA is going to be the best bet of the whole entire NBA season.
I think Denver's going to win.
Oh, LeBron, they got to come out and win that game.
Denver will win that game?
Yeah, win. And I think they're going to be like a real small favorite too, because I think they'll think LA is going to. LA played as good as he can play in game 1, and they ended up losing by 13.
Knicks don't miss, man. They are shooting out of their mind. It doesn't matter. Yeah, have fun. Boston is going to blow them off the court. Who's that, Oakley?
No, he's a Boston fan.
Who that?
Carmelo.
Oh, God.
Carmelo.
Did he lose his teeth?
What do you mean?
He looks like he lost all his teeth.
Is that Deuce again? Yeah. The Deuce is loose in this series. This kid is man.
He's still got
no fear.
I mean, I haven't really followed the Knicks, but that's Miles McBride, yeah. Is that what they call him, Deuce?
Yeah. He's number 2.
I don't really know him that well. I haven't followed him at all.
He was stuck on the bench.
Where's he out of?
Maxey, just go,
What
man.
school did he go to?
I forget what school, but he was stuck behind Brunson, obviously, and what do you call it?
Like, honestly,
Lowry.
what is that play?
Ooh, nice shot. That was sweet, Nick.
He was stuck behind Quickly and Quick Grimes. And they got rid of Quick Grimes.
Don't sleep on Kyle Lowry. He's still
Steps up, and he's been playing huge, which is why as soon as they traded Manuel Quickly, they gave McBride an extension on the contract.
Here he goes again.
Get that out of here. Get out of town. That thing's back on 32nd Street. Bing. Look at him, Embiid. He is dead. Look at him, D. He looks dead. No, he's not terrible. He's got 30. He's got like 30.
He looks like he's 80.
Well, he doesn't look good.
Plays
Whoa, that was a nice swat, though, man.
He plays like he's 80 years old.
I know.
He's got the body of an 80.
He averaged 35 a game, and he's still doing all right. Hey, you see Howie the Schwab died, huh? Saturday.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, live from Studio 6B. So before I went to commercial, I was saying I saw this poll, 2024 national general election among voters aged 18 to 29. Biden's up 10, 55-45. And going back to what I was talking about before on the crypto stance, Bitcoin stance, monetary freedom stance that I would wish the president would take a stronger stance on. The young kids, 18 to 29 in this country, are still under some delusion. I mean, they haven't put it together yet that you can't buy a house.
Nope.
You're coming out of these colleges that are ripping you off with a debt that you'll never get out of. The government wants to take more and more of your wealth, more and more of your paycheck. I always thought, you get that first paycheck, and if you're a kid, it's like the first time you think about, you actually go, well, wait a minute. I'm not a big fan of this. But then you see polls like these numbers, and obviously, you put whether you believe all these numbers or not, or how much you put into believing this, but still, the young 18 to 29 voters, Biden up 10, 55-45. And in a three-way race, he's up 13 with Kennedy, Stein, and West in there. Kennedy pulling 24%. Everything I've seen, by the way, now says Kennedy's going to hurt Trump more than Biden. Everybody that looks at it now,
I'm out.
Every report. Saw one in Zero Hedge just yesterday. It's unequivocal now that RFK hurts Trump more than Biden.
I don't understand anybody's thinking on that.
Why?
He's a Kennedy. He's a Democrat. Everybody knows he's a Democrat. And like you said, if you're a one-issue voter, that's great. But when you look at it, if you're a conservative or a quote unquote Republican, and you look at it and be like, wait, this guy wants, what does he want to do with taxes? What? Yeah, no, I can't sign on to that. He wants to confiscate everything. He's got a basically he's a Democrat across the board except for like two things: vaccines and what you said, monetary policy. That's it. But everything else, he's a raging liberal, and he's got a raging liberal as a VP candidate. So anybody writing those stories, they're just trying to gaslight you.
And you're seeing more and more of the financial, like David Sachs today. Where did I see this tweet? David Sachs, who is the VC Kraft Ventures. And he does that. He's not part of that All In podcast with those guys. He says, Robert Kennedy Jr.'s running mate is growing on me. Evidently, she's more America first than most Republicans. And he's referring to a tweet that she put out, watching leadership send $60 billion to Ukraine while waving another nation's flag is gut-wrenching, she said. What about Americans? ? This is Kennedy's running mate. She said, I remember as a 12-year-old waking up in downtown Oakland and realizing our car had been broken into and the $1.50 I was relying on to buy a McDonald's breakfast sandwich had been stolen. Watching our leadership today send $60 billion to Ukraine while waving another nation's flag is gut-wrenching. What about Americans? This is RFK's running mate.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes
a tweet that I did not have on my bingo card coming from her.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a tweet. Who cares?
Well, I'm just saying.
All right. So she said something that makes sense to people.
All right, let's do some more sports news before we wrap it up. We'll start with sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, well, I didn't get to golf. Big D didn't get a chance to talk about the RBC
Nothing
heritage.
to talk about.
And Scotty Scheffler, oh my God, he's just unbelievable, right? Shot a 19 under 4 days at the Harbortown Golf Links and down in Hilton Head. Beautiful place to play golf down in South Carolina. $20 million purse overall. But he played unbelievable. Theogala, Clark, and Patrick Cantlay was second and tied for third. Clark and Cantlay on that, respectively. So, yeah, good stuff, man. Scotty Scheffler, you know, going to be one of the best. Big D keeps going like that. NBA,
I mean, listen, it's not Tiger in his prime, but it's a hell of a run, and it just shows that there is a dominant force in golf right now, and it's him. When people thought there'd never be another, won't be Tiger.
No,
but he's a dominant force. He's on a dominant run. Let's hope it continues because it's good for golf. I think when you have somebody that dominates like he is right now, won 3 out of his last 4 or something like that, including a major.
Incredible.
Anytime he tees it up, he's got to be the favorite. Did you hear Tony Romo say, I've played 500 rounds of golf probably with him, and he's never shot under 70?
Wow.
I mean, never shot over 70.
70? That's
70
incredible. That's incredible. Oh, my God. And I love some good games going on there. NHL action. Maple Leafs just went ahead of the Bruins 3-2, end of the third. So it looks like they've won that game there and tied the series at 1 in the TD Garden. Who would have thunk that one? And then we got the Islanders right now 3-1 over the Hurricanes. Just about halfway through the third period. Islanders looking to tie that series up on the road. And the Golden Knights and Stars just underway 10 seconds into the game. Kings and Oilers, that's coming up at 10 p.m. NBA action, good one. Sixers just came back down 7, tied the Knicks 94-94 in the Garden, 349, setting up for a fantastic finish there. And the Cavs down the Magic 96-86 by 10, and that now lead that series 2-0 in Cleveland. Cleveland's got something to cheer about. Lakers and Nuggets, that's coming up 10 p.m. TNT. You're going to want to catch that. Well, you know, some more sad news today. We had Howie Schwab, star of ESPN Sports Trivia Show, Stump the Schwab, some would remember, dead at 63 years old. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Howie Schwab, the longtime ESPN researcher who gained fame for his encyclopedic sports knowledge on the hit show Stump the Schwab, has died. He was only 63. Schwab's former colleague, ESPN legend Dick Vitale, posted about his friend's death in a series of posts on X. So sad to learn of the passing of my local dedicated buddy at Howie Schwab. He was recently at my home, had various health issues, but was feeling good when he visited. May he rest in peace. So very sad news there. And just one other quick one. Robert Kraft ends donations to Colombia due to anti-Semitic violence. No longer An institution I recognize. Warner Todd, Houston, and Breitbart, the only place you're going to see this. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft has announced that he is cutting Columbia University off and will no longer be donating to the school because of the anti-Semitism and hate school officials have allowed to flourish on campus. The billionaire NFL owner noted that he is thankful that Columbia helped him start his adult life with the opportunities it offered him so many years ago. Still now, the university is no longer an institution he recognizes, Fox News reported. It was through the full academic scholarship Columbia gave me that I was able to attend college and get my start in life, and for that I have been tremendously grateful. However, the school I love so much, the one that welcomed me and provided me with such opportunity, is no longer an institution I recognize. So Big D, you know what? I can imagine he probably donated a couple of shekels to Columbia, right? Probably a couple of wings there with all his money. Well, he says no, he's cutting them off, and I hope we see a lot more of that going on in life in general. And Rick, just some more good news. West Virginia middle school girls walk out of shot put competition in protest of trans athlete. I don't have time to run that story, but you know what? Your theory's catching on. Your position's catching on. These young ladies are walking out, and I think a trend's going to start if it hasn't already. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Any other news, Delgado?
All right, real quick, I got time for this one. Let's see. Kamala Harris's laugh has sparked concerns from Democrats as they rush to turn around the dire approval ratings as AOC praises her and the authority that comes with having a uterus. Believe it or not, cut 7. You can hear it for yourself.
What?
Yeah. The DNC has conducted focus groups on Vice President Kamala Harris and to try to understand why voters don't like her. It turns out they don't like her cackle.
Oh, we picked up on that early on.
Yeah. Her approval rating continues to rest somewhere in the mid-30s, according to these polls, a historic low for a modern vice president, as she has spent the first 3 years in office struggling with bad headlines. So there you have it.
Get her off the script. I want to wish everybody celebrating a happy Passover today and obviously into tomorrow.
Yes.
And as always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks, guys. Aaron, Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you to Live from Studio 6B audience. We will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here, Real America's Voice, live from Studio 6B.